Okay, so Walter, are you on there? You're really important. He's with Livingston Concrete. Are you on there? I don't, okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, he's on there. So Jerry Kozba, Kobza.
Kobza, yeah.
Awesome, okay. And we have Michelle Murphy from Mercy Housing. We've got Jerry, we've got Jason Ingman, the owner of SAC Protective Services, Aaron Culver with Bissell Brothers, and Raleigh right there in the hat. He's our supervisor on the ground for the Bissell Brothers, which is our maintenance. We've got Walter Martinez, who is Livingston Concrete. Sergeant Daniels is our SAC sheriff, and he runs the POP team. So we're going to have him explain in a few. We've got Norsac Chamber of Commerce, which is Franklin Burris. Thank you, Franklin, for being on here. Jason McDermott. Jason, where are you from? I know that name and I cannot place it for the life of me right now.
He's with us.
Yeah, Monster.
He's on your team.
That's what it is. So Jerry, where are you from?
I'm with Monster and Trusty.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Okay. And then we have our CHP team, Sergeant Carlisle and Officer Kelly is on the call. So thank you. They're very important to us. We've got Tom with Monster Design Company. So he's going to explain about our marketing goals for the district. We're not even, it's brand new. So we're, it's going to even be more so. Let's see, who am I missing? Anybody else, guys, right now? I'm hoping more people will come on, so I'm just gonna go forward with it. But we just wanted to, can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we can see it.
I just wanted to welcome everybody and explain to our businesses what a PBID is. It's a Property Business Improvement District. With the district, we do a lot of things. We have security, and the breakdown, if you see right on the side there, this is the percentage of our budget that we work with. So we spend as much money as we possibly can on those different categories just to make it better for your business. The property owners pay an assessment on their taxes, their property taxes, and that money comes straight to us, and we use it under a law to support your business. So you get the benefit of everything that we do. So that's what's exciting about a PBID. It's kind of like I always say, I kind of work for you in a way, and work for the property owners. I'm kind of a mama bear, so I kind of oversee is what I always think. I'm like an umbrella, and then I bring in experts to help us. So we have a lot of experts on the team. You know what, guys? I'm gonna record this thing. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to record it. Does anybody know how to record it? Let's see here.
Bottom right should be a.
Under more.
Rebecca, it's showing as recording already.
Oh, good. Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Rebecca, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Just a correction. Apparently I had a problem with my mic probably, but I'm actually Walter with Lund Construction.
Oh, Lund. I knew that. Sorry, Walter. You're right next door. That's an important one too.
Yeah, business. Yeah, we're just right next door to Livingston's. Good neighbors.
Exactly. And you're going to love my maintenance team because they're the ones that will start helping clean up that one side of the area. So we got to talk together. So thank you for being on here, Walter. Sorry about that.
Thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate it.
Take over Livingston's too if you want to. They won't like it, but okay. So security, we have 50% going to security. Maintenance is 16%. And beautification, marketing and advocacy is 11% of our budget. We also have capital improvements is 9%. Administration is me at 8%, and contingency, which is kind of the savings plus our renewal and anything that we have to, if we had a lawsuit or anything like that, that money goes on the side. And the reason for that is you just have to be careful because there's some people out there that don't like T-bids, P-bids, anything to do with business. So we have to always be careful. I wanted to make sure that you guys knew, I didn't put it in here necessarily, but we had a decrease, December 2019, we had a decrease of 45% in crime. Between our security, the sheriff, CHP, I mean, we were really, really doing good. And this obviously is one of the worst places if you look back in history of Sacramento area. So the cleanup and the overall, everything went up. It's just the price of square footage, everything has just increased. So, you know, we're really, really proud of what we've done. And then COVID. So it's a new game, but we're coming back fighting. So there's a lot of things we've got going on, and I will consistently share that with you as we go along. It looks like I do not have any of my board of directors on the call, except for our sweet Michelle Murphy is actually going to be on the board. And so she's going to be admitted or adopted into the board of directors in January. So I'm so excited. Michelle, can you just talk about what you do and why you wanted to be on the board, that sort of thing? Miss Michelle, are you there? Did we lose her? Well, she doesn't want to be on the board anymore. I don't know. No. I don't know where she went.
I'm sorry, were you asking me something, Rebecca? My boss was talking to me. I'm sorry.
No worries. I just wanted to have you say who you are, why you wanted to be on the board of directors, what do you see for the district, why you're wanting to be involved?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Michelle Murphy. I'm the assistant property manager of the Courtyards on Orange Grove. We've been open here. I work for Mercy Housing, actually, and we've been open since May. We provide permanent supportive housing, so my residents are formerly homeless and they're required to have some sort of a disability. We have case management here on site, sort of like life coaches. I like to think of us as a starting off point for 92 apartments full of people to get a second chance in life. I've joined PBID, obviously being in my position here at the property, being new to this district. I have enjoyed so much hearing the planning, the compassion, the ideas, the brilliance when it comes to improving this district that I really believe has so much potential, especially when you're kind of revamping and rehabbing new businesses and bringing in new good intentions. I look forward to working with Scotty Wilson, who, thank you, Rebecca, is from a local Starbucks here and starting a homeless coalition. I think that I could really contribute some great ideas for that, especially since I have, about 110 residents that I can ask as far as advice and things like that on where to go and how we can help the homeless population here in North Highlands.
Thank you. I wanted to jump to my our contractors, and what they do is we go back to security, maintenance, marketing, that sort of thing, and they stand next to me and our board of directors to have a vision for the area. So I wanted to introduce, first of all, let me start with Jason Ingman. And Jason, while you're talking, I'm going to pull up one of your reports so that they can see what it looks like and we know what's going on.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Ingman. I'm the Director of Operations and CEO of Sacramento Protective Services. We are a fully armed, uniformed private security company that has been in business since since 2006. We've been servicing the PBID since January 1st of 2020 and look to continue servicing them for many years to come. Our officers are currently patrolling the existing PBID between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 a.m., 7 days a week, 20 man-hours a day, with call for service response available between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. With the addition of the new annexed portion of the PBID, we are now extending services to 24 hours a day effective January 1st, 2021, which means there will be a dedicated, armed, uniformed officer in a marked patrol vehicle patrolling the PBID 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our officers respond to every call for service and issue in the PBID, whether that be something as little as illegal dumping on or near your property up to crimes in progress. Each of our officers, as I said, is fully armed and trained and able to address any issue in the district, but also able to identify issues that they can't address and forward those to the appropriate resources. Should it be issues that occur on public property or properties adjacent to the PBID, we can direct resources to those issues, whether it be homeless encampments on private property, illegal dumping.
Did we lose you?
Including criminal activity that's
Oh.
excuse me, up to and including criminal activity that's occurring on or near your business. Just because an issue is not actively on the PBID doesn't mean we won't take steps to address it. Just understanding that we do have certain legal limitations as to what we can do. For example, we can enforce trespassing, loitering laws anywhere on private property. However, if an individual is standing on a public sidewalk or a public roadway or public property, we can't enforce those laws. We can encourage individuals to move along, but understanding that, especially in the COVID environment of today, where the public health order has banned law enforcement from moving along individuals, things such as mobile homes parked on public roads and individuals living out of their vehicles on public grounds. I'm sure a lot of you have seen a lot of the homeless camps that have been popping up right along the railroad tracks. If those entities do not want to enforce those rules, unfortunately, at this point, the sheriffs and law enforcement are handicapped on being able to move them. That doesn't mean, again, that we won't address them. Each month, each day, a daily report is submitted to the client that details all the actions taken by the officers assigned to the district, calls for service, maintenance issues, vehicle sighting and towing. But then each month, a breakdown will come out to the board that gives a summary of all the action and activity in the district, including calls for service, areas of high activity, breakdown of how many calls for service versus officer observations versus maintenance issues that we address. It's about a 8-page breakdown of just each of the metrics used to identify issues occurring in the district. All the reports that are submitted, whether they're taken about your property or any property, are the property of SPS and the executive director of the PBID. We cannot disclose information in those reports to you without a written authorization. So if you ever need anything, you say, hey, an SPS officer responded to take a report of an incident, I need a copy of that. Please reach out to the PBID manager directly, as she's the only one that can authorize release of that, short of a subpoena. It's not that we're trying to hide information, it's just there's detailed information in these reports that could be private and pertain to other districts, other properties, so we want to make sure that no misinformation is being released. Other than that, I am a conduit to my officers. Any information that you have, we please ask that you bring it to the executive director directly. You can call our offices 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'll be receiving a welcome packet, but our phone number is 916-575-9900. Number again, 916-575-9900. And that is answered 24 hours a day by a live dispatcher. You're not going to get a voicemail or doesn't go to someone's cell phone. It goes to our dispatchers. Who then will forward that information to the patrol officers. The main thing we need is your cooperation. Even being in the district 24 hours a day, you have one officer covering about 100+ square acres of property, over 200+ businesses, and several miles of public and private roads. So if you see something, say something. There is no call for service that's too minuscule, and there's no issue that's too much for us to address. Our officers are trained to address any type of problems within the district, but also identify those problems that are beyond our scope and reach out to the proper resources, whether that be law enforcement, code enforcement, or other agencies to assist. So please make sure you're contacting us. The one thing that makes me the most frustrated is when I get a call from Rebecca and says that she had a call from a business owner who laid out this laundry list of concerns they've had over the past few months, but never called us to address those concerns when they occur. We can't address an issue of loitering on your property if we find out about it 5 days later. So if there's an issue on your property, day or night, please feel free to give us a call. We also act as first responders and are available to any company that has an alarm system in the district. If you'd like to, we can sign a separate agreement that would make us your primary alarm response provider, so that should your alarm go off at 2 in the morning, you're not getting a call at home, or the call's not going to law enforcement where it becomes, unfortunately, a lower priority call. We would respond to those calls, and usually in under 3 to 5 minutes, and have an officer on scene addressing the situation and updating you as a business owner as to what's going on. There's also 2 great alarm service providers actually in the PBID, both Bay Alarm and Act Alarm. Both offer both video and alarm monitoring services, and I highly recommend, if you're a business, that if you don't have an alarm system, that should be a primary focus. Finally, if I can make one final recommendation to all the business owners: lighting, 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 and more lighting. The criminal element does not like lights. LED lighting has come down in price substantially. If you can do one thing and one thing only to help secure your property, put more lighting up. I hope that answers any questions. If not, I'm here available to answer any questions that anybody might have of our services or the PBID in general.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll have questions right at the end. Jason, thank you. That's perfect. I wanted to introduce Raleigh and Aaron. They are Bissell brothers. They are coming in to the district starting in January, although they've already started working. They are cleaning up the Roseville Road, which is a huge, huge project. So Raleigh, can you and Aaron step in and kind of explain what you do, how you do, and you know, talk about us, how we help the public areas.
Well, we're going to be taking care of all the streets, public areas through their litter removal, leaf abatement. We have a street sweeper that's going to be coming out monthly to address all the public roadways, to kind of help with the county, you know, the lack of times a month through the county to kind of, you know, get the glass, the you know, just reduce the debris, which will reduce hazards, I guess, eventually. Currently, we're working on the Roseville Road stretch, which is a hotspot for dumping, illegal dumps. Also, kind of a hotbed for crime activities too, as well as our first day on site, we already found a loaded pistol that was stashed in the bushes. Have Sac County Sheriff retrieve that from us. But, you know, basically our whole goal is to kind of reduce the amount of areas where people feel comfortable doing illegal dumps and, you know, doing shady things, as well as making the district overall look a little bit cleaner, you know, by addressing all the trash that's being blown in off the off-ramps into the public areas, you know, people dumping it. You know, our thoughts is if people notice that it's constantly clean, it does one of two things. It'll deter them from going out there and spray painting, because we're going to cover it right back up or clean it right off, or picking up the dumps that makes them feel like between us and the security, they don't really have a safe time or opportunity to continue to dump it. I do know that with the pricing going up at the landfill, the illegal dumps seem to, just from the few weeks we've been out here messing around with the Roseville Road, they do seem to have gone up a little bit. I know that could be time of year, but I think just in, you know, conjunction with the two, I think that that's going to have maybe a little bit of an impact. But with us being out there 4 days a week and working in, you know, in coordination with Jason and his guys, we can be on those illegal dumps pretty quick and utilizing 311 to see if the county can address some of the larger stuff. You know, so basically we're here for anybody to, just like Jason said, if someone sees something, they can please feel free to contact me, or I'll have our guys' cell phone number for everybody. As long as, you know, it's on the private or public areas, you know, you give us a call, we'll get out there as quick as we can to address it. And obviously working with Rebecca every day as well, you know, checking in, see if there's some areas that we can address and things that the community needs. I mean, we're basically here to do whatever you guys need to keep it looking pretty and clean.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to have you guys. And the list that you saw was from Citywide Property Service, which is our service that we have right now. And they go clear through December 31st. And Joe and Brian are still out there and really doing a great job. So anyway, but give me a call if you want to know more about the maintenance, and 311, put that on your phone, all kinds of different things. So I'd like to introduce you to Tom. He is with the Monster Design Company. And Tom, just explain who you are, what your thought patterns are with the district, and what, we're starting in January with, well, we're actually starting now. What am I saying? Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, hi everyone. Monster Design Company here. We're a full service strategic and creative agency. Basically, we're here to support Rebecca and help advance the PBID in the region. But instead of narrowly focusing on the PBID, we really want to start to highlight the businesses within. And so our objective is, rather than just developing kind of one-of type of marketing initiative, say a billboard or something, we really want to look at creating a framework that's sustainable and more of a long-term play that really builds equity in the region and the district for the PBID itself, and then for the businesses as well. So obviously this ties into everything you guys are doing that you talked about, as well as the individual businesses and their success. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we're doing. There's a lot of creative ways we can do it, as well as strategic ways. We're going to be diving into the data and really figuring out the best path forward. So we look forward to reaching out to all the businesses and supporting organizations with questions and ideas, and really helping advance the district and all the businesses within. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I turn it over to Jerry and Jason, see if they want to add anything to that.
I'll unmute. So one of the things we want to do is, as Tom mentioned, is not just bring awareness to the district and help with cleanup and making the whole place a better place to do business. We want to bring awareness to the community that this is the place they should be coming for whatever the services you're providing are. Everybody in the district working together, building the 80-watt business district message is going to help all of us, but we want to find ways to bring customers in to your area. If they're not doing business, they're doing business in Sunrise or somewhere else in Sacramento County, we want them to be aware of what you're doing. So everything we're going to be doing is working on building awareness of the district, but also of all the value that's in the district, all the businesses that are in the district, so we can make you guys the hero and make your businesses strong. On the other side, we also want to make sure that any of those empty buildings, any empty facilities that are available, we want to bring businesses in and make them aware that this is a great place to have your business. And there's all these great businesses you can partner with within the district. So that's part of our overall goal for the marketing program for you guys. So, and Jason, you have anything else you want to add?
Not really. I think you guys hit the nail on the head right there. The only thing I guess I could just state is that the focus of our involvement is twofold, in the sense that we just want to make sure that the businesses and the property owners know that the efforts going forward are for sustainability, so that the improvements and things that happen in that region aren't fully dependent on ongoing expenses such as securities and things, so that it actually has the return on value for both the businesses and the property owner, which is the initiative behind what the PBID does.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I'm so excited to work with these guys, and I think they see a bigger vision for the area. So if you have any thought patterns on that and want to be a part of the marketing team, which I'll explain in a few minutes, I'd love to talk to you. Thank you guys very, very much. Okay, we're going to jump to our community experts. From the community, we are so lucky, so blessed to have a group of people that are in law enforcement and in the areas of the county that really appreciate business. They're constantly looking for your good on economic impact. So I'd like to introduce you first to our Sacramento Sheriff's POP team, Sergeant Mike Daniels. Can you explain, Sergeant Daniels, who you are, why you partner with a PBID, and how, or some of the things that people should watch out for in their businesses?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. It's not often I get called an expert about anything, so appreciate that, Rebecca. That's nice. Get called lots of things, but anyway. So we have two teams that are specialized teams that work within the community. Mine is the POP team, which is the problem-oriented policing team. And I've got a team of 4 deputies right now. I'm supposed to have 6, so we're running a little short. But what we do is we help work within the community and the businesses to solve ongoing problems that you've got. You know, if you've got a property owner maybe who isn't part of the PBID and isn't playing well with others, we can kind of help facilitate with them to try to get them, you know, take care of their properties. Or if you've got those derelict properties that I've heard mentioned a lot. We partner directly with code enforcement, the district attorney, lots of other agencies, and we can work to help you solve those long-term problems. You can reach us directly by sending emails to northpop@sacsheriff.com. However, what I like to point out is that isn't the same thing as if you need an officer out there now, then you need to call the non-emergency or the emergency number is appropriate. Send us the email as a follow-up, because we'll work these things as long-term projects. We're not going to respond to come out to put a Band-Aid on something. We want to come out and partner with you guys in order to fix these problems long-term. And those are the things like if you've got constant problems, and the security guys are great at communicating that information to us as well. Jason and his team give us information on businesses that are having ongoing problems with specific people, and we'll track them down and deal with that, you know, individually. We also work within the community around the businesses to try to enhance that, because a lot of the bleed over into the businesses that cause problem come from around the fringes where the residential neighborhoods are. So we try to work on keeping those clean. Some examples in the last couple of years, we worked real closely with the Board of Supervisors, the District Attorney's Office, and Child Protective Services, because we're having a lot of problems with the receiving home kids. Ultimately, it's worked out that we've got that relocated out of the district, and I've seen a huge improvement with things like that. Some of the smaller businesses have had problems with specific people coming in time after time causing issues. We've been able to track them down and work with even property managers to get people evicted that are causing problems. There was a huge problem with prostitution up and down Watt Avenue. We've continued to work with that, and we've put a big impact on that. So not to say that everything's fixed, there's still plenty to do, but those are the kinds of long-term projects that we work with. You know, and we're happy to hear from everybody, work with everybody individually, as a group, you know, whatever you may need. You know, our priorities become whatever you tell us they need to be in your zone, because, you know, this is your place of business, and keeping that area up and running is just good for everybody out there. It's good for the community. It's good for all the stakeholders there. And we work in partnership with the homeless outreach team. My partner, Sergeant Lynn, jumped on here and had an emergency and just had to run out. So I'm going to kind of, if you don't mind, jump in and talk about them a little bit too. But she's got a team of deputies who work specifically with homeless. They deal with your transient problems. They deal with the camps. They try to help get people into housing long-term. So again, for them, they can be reached at northhot@sacsheriff.com. And once again, they're kind of your follow-up resource. You'll get to know the deputies that are out there. Right now, we've got Deputy Kevin He, who is kind of a one-man show. He's running a little short out there right now, too. But Kevin knows most of your transients that are your regulars. He likes to be apprised if you get new people that show up. And if you've got camps that keep popping up or clean up things that keep popping up. But again, think of us more as long-term partners in the business districts. They're going to help you solve those bigger problems. Again, call for the immediate responses, but we'll be there to help solve this going forward long-term. Am I missing anything, Rebecca? Let me know.
Well, just one thing, Mike, can you just kind of explain why we're kind of stuck with all the tents on Roseville Road right as you turn into Madison? And just explain with Union Pacific and that sort of thing for me, coming from an expert.
Yeah, so a lot of those properties, especially like Union Pacific or the waterways, have different public entities that actually own that property. And under the current public health order and the different laws that have come down from the state, I don't know if you've heard of the Boise, Idaho thing, Martin Boise. So if somebody's living somewhere, unless we have an immediate housing to move them from their camp to housing, we're not allowed to move them if they've established a place. That has become a violation of their rights. So on private property, it's not a problem to move them, because any of those people that are, you know, if you own the property, you don't want somebody there, you are legally allowed to trespass them off that property. Where it gets sticky is in this public areas, the sidewalks, the waterways, and the other entities, because then we need those people to take ownership of that property and help us move them off. Department of Transportation, the railways have been reluctant to do that because they keep getting sued also. So there's a lot of different legal wranglings going on. And those have been fallout from things that started as far back as when Prop 47 passed. With any of you with a business who've dealt with the shoplifters know what kind of an impact that's had on shoplifting, drug use, and things in the area. So it's made things a lot more challenging for us. Combine that with the zero bail things that's going on in the COVID stuff. It's been, you know, we've been real hamstringed with a lot of the things that we've been able to do in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Rebecca, if I could piggyback on that real quick.
Sure.
One of the questions I get the most asked is, why didn't you arrest that person, or why didn't you get that person taken to jail? Right now, under the public health order from the County of Sacramento, deputies, law enforcement are not authorized to book individuals into jail unless if they've committed a violent crime. So even individuals whom we've contacted, given trespass warnings, given official notices of trespass, individuals who violated those notice trespasses, individuals with active warrants, misdemeanor warrants, cannot be taken to jail. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to alleviate the problems in this COVID era for the business owners. But still, when it comes to private property enforcement, we're very, very strict on that. The one thing I wanted to piggyback on the sergeant was that if you see problems, we need you to be contacting. If you need immediate response or something that can be addressed by us, please call SPS. But we also need you to follow up when there is actual criminal activity with the sheriffs. One of the biggest things we get is when they're doing analytical evaluation of an area, they're saying, well, we don't have that many calls for service, or we don't have that many crime reports in a certain area, because individuals just say it's not worth calling the sheriffs. You got to call those sheriffs. They need that data point in their system so that when they do their analytical review of an area and they say, hey, we need more funding for this area, we need more resource for this area because we've seen the uptick in criminal activity, they have the data to support it. So please, whenever there is an incident on your property, utilize the resources available, utilize the Sac Sheriff website to file a report, or place a call to non-emergency. Obviously, if it's an emergency, we all know how to dial 911, but there are other ways to report activities. Rebecca talked about the SAC 311. There's actually an app called SAC 311 Connect, not SAC 311. SAC 311 is for the city. SAC 311 Connect is for the county. You can report a plethora of issues that are occurring, and it'll be forwarded to the proper organization, whether that be code enforcement, sanitation, but law enforcement. I know the HOT team gets a daily printout from SAC 311 Connect with all the things that are involving homeless activity, and they address those right down the list. So
Right.
All the resources are there as long as we're reporting them to the proper authorities.
Right. No, when I first started, I felt like I was bugging the sheriffs and the CHP, and they said, nope, report. So, and they're really, really good about it, because it does give us the analytics to put our money and our time and effort in the right place. I'm going to jump real quick to our team from California Highway Patrol. And guys, can you explain why you're in my area and what our partnership is all about, and why I lean on you so heavy, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so Sergeant Jeff Carlisle, I'm the supervisor of the HOP team, very similar to Sergeant Daniel's team with the Sheriff's Department. We have the same mission in that, we have a dedicated team of officers. I have 5 right now for the whole county. that's dedicated to trying to find long-term solutions and so forth for all the issues that come up. Obviously, we're the traffic enforcement arm of law enforcement for the county, so that's our main focus. However, I do have 2 officers specifically dedicated to assist with these PBIDs. Officer Chris Kelly here, sitting to my left, and then Officer Terry Plum. Couldn't make the meeting, but those are my 2 most active POP officers involved with the PBIDs. And our main mission is to assist the Sheriff's Department however we can. We work very closely with their POP team and the HOT team, and just also with the security companies, and they can rely on us as well. We won't, obviously our bread and butter is traffic, and any issues that come up related to that, we're going to jump on it. We'll also handle some of those crimes in progress that there's a gray area. Is it sheriff's and CHP? We don't really worry about that too much, especially with the PBIDs. We'll just go out there and handle it. So if it's a trespassing issue or whatever, we'll try to respond and assist as well, just to kind of bump up the law enforcement presence for the PBIDs. I would say the Watt 80 PBID out of all of them is probably the most near and dear to our heart, just because you guys are right off the interstate there, Interstate 80 and Watt Avenue area. So a lot of the issues that come off the freeway, specifically the homeless presence and the encampments and so forth, are directly kind of related and very closely tied to that freeway. So we do, out of all the PBIDs, I'll admit, we specifically direct a lot of our time and attention to the Watt 80 PBID for that reason, because we know we share a bit more responsibility for the issues that come up. Our contact information, we have an email, 250POP@chp.ca.gov. That gets monitored throughout the day, and good way to contact us. So that's kind of a general overview. We'll say one other thing too, just related to the highway patrol, a little bit of the underbelly of what's been going on recently. Like all law enforcement agencies, we've been facing some staffing issues, and I'll say it got kind of close here this last fall, where I thought maybe the POP team was going to get cut just due to staffing issues. We don't really try to, law enforcement doesn't try to say that in public a whole lot, but I feel like, I know Rebecca, I know you guys really closely. I'm not afraid to kind of tell you how it is. It was pretty close to where we thought we were going to have to cut the POP team altogether, just to respond to all the calls for service in the rest of the county. We're able to avoid that. We had the support from not only our management here, but our management that oversees like our whole division, the whole Sacramento region. And they realized that North Sacramento specifically, with all the county unincorporated area that we have, needs a POP team to address community issues, and the PBIDs are part of that. So I'm very glad to say that our POP team's not going anywhere anytime soon. Chris, did you have anything kind of to add as far as boots on the ground, what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, just if you have any issues pertaining to vehicles, some that need to be abated, or traffic concerns like we dealt with Mercy Housing. They had some parking issues that I think we got a really good grip on and resolved through the assistance of county roads and getting some signage, and coupled that with some enforcement. We pretty much squashed that. So if you have some vehicles that show up at your businesses that are questionable and you want us to have us check it out, please let us know. There's a couple apartment complexes in the area of Myrtle and Polk that I email with pretty much on a weekly basis, just to see if they have anything going on that needs to be addressed, and we just try to jump on it sooner rather than later. The sooner we can get on these issues before they couple and grow bigger in size, the easier it is for us. So please let us know.
One last thing too on the homeless encampments and the health order and so forth. We're all very frustrated by this situation, and I know that we want to provide housing for these people if it's available. A lot of them are, as we know, service resistant. That housing's offered, and they were going to refuse. And in the past, we, as law enforcement, could pretty easily direct them on to other locations once we had them under our radar, and that's kind of gone away. I will say within the past couple of weeks, it seems like there's some movement with our upper management. I think the politicians, people are kind of realizing the impact that it's having on the community, and whether we think that not enforcing camps adds or detracts from the COVID situation or not, the discussions are being had, and I'm seeing a little bit more movement towards our ability to actually start enforcing some of these removals, especially the big, large ones that are causing issues in the community.
No, that's exactly what I needed. One of the things that just really stands out is when we've had issues, again, as you can see, you have a lot of people that are supporting local business. And just so you guys know, I'm recording this so that I can send this to every single one of our businesses and beyond. On the picture you'll see, you see Sacramento County District Attorney's Office. That's Ron Lithicum. He's our district attorney, and he is community minded. He's the one that created a CNO program, which is the Chronic Nuisance Ordinance. And once we get our zero bails gone and all that kind of stuff again, it throws the book at people that are chronics in harming our communities. So Ron is, again, one of our experts and one of my heroes. And then the next person I want to introduce you guys to is, pardon?
I'd say if I can jump in, Ron right now is on a meeting dealing with a problem business that's right at the edge of the district with a couple of my guys. And we're trying to get some of that resolved because of some of the bleed over. Ron's also made some huge progress within the DA's office to get this no bail thing lifted for the CNO program. So hopefully that's working. But the guy is tireless. Much like Rebecca, he sometimes will send me emails at 1 a.m. because she doesn't sleep. So anyway, he's just great. So I just want to give him some props because he is a one-man show right now, but he's working hard.
Hey, Sergeant, for the uninitiated, could you explain what the no bail program is?
So no bail really started with the beginning of COVID, and what the state decided was an emergency bail proceeding. Jason touched on a little bit. If something was not a violent felony or an in-progress crime, all the bail tables were set to 0. And there was a proposition that was also on the last ballot to replace cash bail that did not pass. In the meantime, they've kept this 0 bail. So unless it's a violent felony or something that's domestic violence related, even if we're able to book somebody in jail, they get processed and shot out the other door with a court date on a promise to appear. So it's basically the same thing as a citation, except that it removes them from the area. So the bail schedule is not in use right now. A lot of the other counties have lifted that. Sacramento County has not lifted that yet. So it's created a huge headache for not only the citizens, but law enforcement with, trying to get some of these people off the street. I've got some neighborhoods that are just boiling over because I can't get people out. I can go write them tickets and give them a court date, and that's about the extent of it until things escalate to that higher level. So there's not a lot of preventative stuff that we can do or proactive things on lower level crimes right now.
That's one of the things I wanted to also talk to you about. We, as a PBID, we're constantly looking at how to advocate for business. So that's exactly what we have done, even though it feels like nothing's happening because you see the trash out there or the tents. We have written letters all the way up to the governor and beyond. The reason why the POP team and the HOT team stayed within Sacramento County is because we started an entire group to write and advocate for our support of our sheriffs. And yeah, it's a big deal. So what you don't see is there's a lot happening. And I hate advocacy, but obviously, you know what, you mess with my boys or my girls and we go after you, because the bottom line is it just affects business, and I am very pro-business. That's what's running our country. So I really am so grateful for our CHP, and however we can support you guys in a heartbeat. I'm right there holding my sign up, and same thing with Sheriff. So anyway, I want to say thank you so much. Can I jump to our friend Franklin Burris is the executive director for the North Sac Chamber of Commerce, and we're constantly collaborating. So Franklin, kind of explain what you do and why we work together.
You make me work with you. You've threatened me. So the North Sac Chamber is the second oldest business organization in the city of Sacramento. We were founded in 1923 for what was then the city of North Sacramento, which ceased to exist in '66. We represent now an area of about 54 square miles. We cover from the American River to the Placer County line, roughly basically going north on 80. North Highlands, Foothill Farms, probably Western Arden Arcade, Del Paso Heights, Robla, Old North Sacramento down to the American River is our geography. It's pretty complex. We have 2 different council members, 3 different county supervisors, 3 assembly members, 2 state senators, 2 congressional representatives. So it keeps us lively, I guess you would say. In a normal year, we would have monthly luncheons. We rotate throughout that area from Antelope, and so we will partner with 80 Watt District. We'll partner with the Antelope business community. We'll partner with Del Paso Boulevard Partnership. They're all different PBIDs within our area to do some of those programs. We do a lot of programs with political representatives because it's important for you to know them. It's important for you to have that permission from them. If you have an issue, call me. And they really want you to do that. So we try to provide those opportunities. We have a couple annual events normally. A Salute to Democracy, which is a very political breakfast reception, usually hosted at the Officers Club at McClellan. We do a state fair preview luncheon with a number of other chambers because the state fair is one of our members and the largest, in a normal year, was the largest event to occur within the region economically. Just the amount of people that it brings in for hotels and for staffing and services to make the state fair happen for 3 weeks every year. Of course, that was canceled this last year. We do a number of holiday events. Usually we would have a nice 80 Watt district chamber reception. We often gather toys and give them to the Sheriff's Department, Toys for Tots drive. We weren't able to do that this year either, but we do a number of those things. We do, as a Chamber of Commerce, all of our revenue really comes from people deciding to join and being a member. We don't have any property assessment. We don't typically get big chunks of money through any local governments. We have somewhat this year because we're doing some assistance with the CARES Act for business outreach and support and technical advising. But we do a number of things to try to benefit those members. You know, if members do better, then we're successful. That's really the bottom line. So we're promoting businesses. We've done a few large mixers out at the Aerospace Museum where we're trying to pull together 3 or 4 PBIDs, 3 or 4 chambers, trying to get people to, you know, mix and make connections and hopefully do more business together. We offer a number of affinity programs, if you want to call them that, discounts for Office Depot, email marketing, things of that might be useful to the businesses. When they join us, they get several of those options that they can take advantage of. We do a lot of political advocacy. We view ourselves as the voice of business. Not getting a lot of funding through the government. We're able to be a little more strongly worded maybe than the PBIDs can. So there's been occasions where the PBIDs will say, look, we can't really go out and say this, but you can say this. And we're the ones taking a little harder tact, if you will. So, you know, recently, one example of that recently would be the city of Sacramento has directed a lot of CARES money back to businesses either as loans or grants. The county has not. The county tried to move forward with doing fines against businesses for not following the health guidelines. We opposed that and we pointed out, hey, you're not doing anything to help people, but now you're coming around trying to hammer them.
Right.
That's not really, you had no goodwill because you didn't help them to begin with. So, and we were successful in that. That got blown up, not really because of us, but because of like 2,500 businesses who wrote letters and said, well, what are you doing? What else? We do a few things that are maybe not so chambery because of the geography. If you look at the communities we represent, we qualify for everything because we have a lot of struggling areas. So our chamber actually gives about 10% of our revenue back to nonprofits, to fundraising issues, helping kids with backpacks, doing all that kind of stuff. So we'll partner with lots of nonprofit members that we have to do those events, to try to help those entities and lift our whole community up. we kind of recognize you can't be a strong business district if you don't have strong neighborhoods and vice versa. So we're really tied together, business and community. And that will be my pivot to tell you one of the things that we are partnered on. The chamber has set aside $10,000 to do what we are calling We Stand Together, Business and Community, knowing the challenge specifically that restaurants are having in this shutdown. We have set aside $10,000 to target businesses, hopefully members first, but to buy meals from those restaurants and cater that food and deliver it to our frontline workers, public safety, first responders. We are starting that today. We are going to the North Area Police Station for the city, delivering 50 meals. And tomorrow we are doing it 3 times in partnership with the 80 Watt District for CHP, the sheriffs, and our Caltrans maintenance crew, which we've got a lot of freeways through our area, and we depend on them a lot to help with different projects. So it's a way to thank those folks who are really serving and protecting us and helping us along, both physically in our businesses, but also in our community, and hopefully invest directly in those businesses to help them get going. We can't save everybody, but we all got to do anything we can do. We're telling people on our Shop Local and Shop Small online is, don't question it. Everybody's desperate. You need to go to those businesses and help them now, or you will wonder why they are closed in January or February, and you don't want to wonder.
Right. Agreed. Thank you, Franklin. I'm so grateful to have you as my partner. I really appreciate you. We're going to just jump really quick. We don't have anybody representative. I didn't want to, have them on the team, but we work really tightly with the Board of Supervisors. So again, that's another group that you don't see, but literally shapes our communities all the time. We also work with the, as I said, the District Attorney's Office. There's certain things that we do. As you can see, we have committees that you can get involved with. We have our security task force, and everything is on Zoom right now. But security task force, we have board of directors, we have, which overall is the umbrella, showing us which way to go. We're starting the homeless coalition. And that is not necessarily to keep them there. The problem is we have lots and lots of homeless there in the district, and we have absolutely zero services within that district. But if we can get vouchers for them or different things that we can send them to a hotel room, or somewhere to live or whatever, that's what we're pulling together because it's not going away. So we decided, okay, we're going to work with it. We also have our marketing, which again, our Monster Design Company is going to really take hold of. And then we have our maintenance and beautification program. And that is pretty much it. Do any of the businesses have any questions for the experts from what you've heard? Everybody's so quiet. Hi, Sean Lewis. Nice to see you. I just want to thank you all for coming and spending the time. Like I said, I'm using this as a promotional kind of thing, and maybe I'll throw it over even to North Sac Chamber, and he can use it because we got some really good stuff on here today. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful to work with all of you, and I wish you a very, very, very Merry Christmas. A very, Merry Christmas. Oh my gosh, Christmas. I've had too much sugar. And I pray for a very blessed 2021. We're going to do this together. You're not alone, and we're going to be in your area to clean it up and show some love. So if you have any questions, there's my number, my email. Don't hesitate to call, and wish you all a happy day. All right. See you later.
Thank you, Rebecca, so much. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.